Luka Dončić is done for the regular season. We're going to deep dive into how that impacts the Lakers both in the near and long term. The Rams are not assured of a reunion with their backup quarterback, and the WNBA expansion draft leads us to a deep existential question. Does this make the Sparks actually worse? Good morning. I'm James. And this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the Faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It is April 4th, 2026. Welcome back to the home office. Hey, do you like being in the know about LA sports? Well, if you do, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop an update. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. We have so much to discuss about Luka Dončić that I broke out the whiteboard of wisdom. But before we get to the news, humor me. We should look at the scoreboard. Starting with Dodgers 13, Washington 6. 5 LA home runs. 5. Yahtzee. LA leads the West by 2.5. The magic number is down to 153. Orlando 2, Angel City FC 1. Its first loss of the year for Angel City. UCLA women's basketball 51, Texas 44. The Bruins advanced to face South Carolina in Sunday's championship game. Now, I'm going to be up front with you. I watch so many sports that I don't have the opportunity to add women's college basketball to that list. The most I know about UCLA is Lauren Betts was on an All-State commercial. She crushed it with 16 points and 11 rebounds, which meant the Bruins were in good hands. Hey-o! Meanwhile, today, the Dodgers are at Washington at 1. Tyler Glasnow versus Jake Irvin. Toronto's at the Kings at 4. The Kings are one of 3 teams tied in points for the last playoff spot in the Western Conference. They have 7 games to go. It is Galaxy Game Day. They will host Mini Scrotum at 7:30. Joseph Paintsill expected to miss tonight's match. The Galaxy haven't won in their last 3 MLS matches. And Orlando City's at LAFC at 6:30. LAFC is one of 3 remaining unbeaten MLS clubs. So with all that out of the way, now let's get to the news. As mentioned a few moments ago, Luka Dončić is out for the rest of the regular season after an MRI indicated a grade 2 left hamstring strain. Now, ESPN originally wrote a slightly misleading headline about it, saying his future was unknown. Ooh. As if he needed a doctor to invent Tommy John surgery of the leg or something. Look, the recovery time for a grade 2 hamstring issue is about a month. Now here's the issue for the Lakers. The regular season ends in 2 weeks. So you figure you got about another half a week to get the play-in tournament out of the way. The most optimistic scenario means the Lakers would have to make it past the first round, maybe even past the first 2, in order to get Dončić back. Having said that, you should be extremely skeptical of the Lakers making a big run without him because, let's be honest, Dončić was balling. He was leading the league with 33.5 points per game. Not exactly easy to replace. More than 8 assists per game. And he had the second most rebounds of any guard in the NBA. Now, there's been a fluffy side story that's been going on that I want to let you know you really shouldn't care about. Oh, his agent wants to see if Dončić should still qualify for an MVP. You have to play 65 games. Dončić didn't. He only played 1 fewer. I don't care. And I don't think you should care a whole lot either. If you are a longtime Laker fan, ask yourself, what do you care about more? Do you care about the Lakers' three-peat or that Shaquille O'Neal had an MVP during one of those years? Which matters more? Do you care more about the Showtime era or Magic Johnson's one MVP? Do you care about chasing an 18th NBA title or an MVP? Do you see where I'm going? Exactly. See, my concerns about how this works are twofold. One, how can the Lakers extend their postseason? With Doncic, maybe the Lakers have a puncher's chance? Maybe. Without him, they don't. So we're just looking at, hey, what can they do to bide the time? The second question is, how does this factor into the offseason plans? So, answering the first, the Lakers actually might keep their third seed in the West. They have 5 games left. Unless they completely collapse, and I don't think they will, they should get wins over Utah and Dallas. Maybe they get a third. Denver would have to continue to absolutely crush it. They have to pass the Lakers because the Lakers have won the regular season against Denver, therefore they would get the tiebreaker. Considering the Lakers have also played stretches this year without one of their big three, Doncic, LeBron James, Austin Reeves. They've played many stretches without them and they have still put up W's. They've been 7-6 without Doncic this year. Can you imagine James picking up the slack in the short term? I can. When Doncic was... Now, by the way, how does this look for the rest of the lineup in the short term? We don't have an exact answer. When Doncic was suspended for too many technicals Monday, the Lakers moved Austin Reeves to the point. James was kind of off guard, small forwardy. And then what you had for the rest was Rui Hachimura, Jake LaRavia, and DeAndre Ayton was down in the post. The question becomes if Hachimura or LaRavia go back to the bench when Marcus Smart returns from his injury. By the way, according to the LA Times, Smart could return to the Laker lineup as soon as the Dallas game Sunday. The issue with the Lakers, like we were talking about, the puncher's chance, is that they simply aren't athletic enough to either keep up with Oklahoma City or San Antonio, and also from that lack of athleticism, they don't play defense. They need those 33.5 points to have that so-called puncher's chance. So, because they need to be more athletic, because they need to be more defensively minded, that's not going to happen on this team. That leads us to the next question. How does this impact the offseason? I bring it up because there was a scribe for CBSSports.com who opined that this really hurts the Lakers offseason because they don't have enough intel on who they're going to keep, how they're going to build a team next year. I'm here to tell you that's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Because the Lakers' plans are pretty doggone obvious. Unless Giannis Antetokounmpo demands a trade, the Lakers' plans seem to be that they are trying to flip LeBron James' salary into a 3-and-D starter and rim protection. So if James stays, cool, but the Lakers damn sure aren't going to pony up for a raise. You'd be keeping the same roster, which means you would get smoked by Oklahoma City or San Antonio. You have to have a more complete team. So, like I said, the CBS guy is like, oh my God, what a monkey wrench into the offseason. That's not true. Because the Lakers could go to any potential free agent and say, listen, Oklahoma City is stacked. You're not going to be able to crack that rotation because they already know what they do. We, on the other hand, in LA, have an MVP candidate here in his physical prime. We have a second scorer. And you can get paid here while just playing your game. You do not need to be the savior of the franchise. You just need to give us what we need so that we can have a more complete team and compete for a title. So no, it doesn't impact it. There is another story, aside from that bad analysis on CBS. There's another story that I don't think is totally fair. I admit JJ Redick had to win me over. I wasn't sold on him when he was hired. I'm not saying he's Pat Riley or Phil Jackson, but the Lakers have been pretty doggone decent with him. But in light of Doncic's injury, the question arose about should you have played Doncic at all in the second half of a blowout? What we know is Doncic advised the training staff that his hamstring felt a little off in the first half. Redick played it like any other coach in the league would have. Any other coach in the league would have said, okay, go back with the trainers. He did. The trainers cleared him. And then Redick was like, all right, guys, we're getting our asses kicked. I'll give you 6 minutes to see if you can make this a game. If not, everybody sits and we just ride our bench and take our butt kicking. And that was exactly what Redick did. Any other coach would have done the exact same thing. Give them 6 minutes, and if nothing changes, pull everybody and let Bronny James just fumble the ball away on every possession for the rest of the game. So, fair to ask Redick the question, but Redick's response was fair as well. So yeah, we had a lot to discuss regarding Doncic. Let me know what you think in the comments thread. Just a day after Sean McVay expressed hope in adding Kirk Cousins as a backup quarterback, dude used that as leverage to sign with Vegas, which is low-key hilarious. Cousins has a 1-4 career playoff record. The other thing we know about his career is he keeps losing the starting gig so far with 3 different teams. And obviously, we know the Raiders are drafting Fernando Mendoza, so Cousins is going to go for the grand slam of losing his starting gig with 4, but that's another story. Cousins is actually the 3rd highest paid quarterback of all time in career earnings. $341 million. That's more than Tom Brady earned. But I digress. That's not really the point. Maybe he used it as leverage to get on the field or to get paid. Who cares? The point is, who backs up Matthew Stafford now? Jimmy Garoppolo told The Athletic he's, quote, weighing a few options, unquote. So, the following is merely speculation. There's the possibility Arizona might sign into the chat. Also, Green Bay is apparently in need of a backup. I've read stories also about San Francisco thinking about having him as a backup to Brock Purdy. So, keep that in mind. 2 WNBA expansion teams, 2 Sparks players plucked from the roster in an expansion draft. And all I can tell you with certitude is that the Sparks got significantly less blonde. I have minimal understanding of the career arc or the strategic value of either Julie Allemande or Sarah Ashley Barker, who, as far as I'm concerned, may as well be Sarah Jessica Parker. My recollection is Barker was drafted 9th overall last year, and she scored 3 points per game. First-round draft picks in the WNBA are even far more sketchy than the ones in the NBA. Allemande, meanwhile, is pushing 30. She averaged about 5 points per game. So, they were both marginal contributors on a terrible basketball team. Big whoop. The Clippers, to their credit, have rebounded from a start so disastrous it made people look back fondly on the days of Michael Olowokandi. So the scribes were trying to push the positivity, and they asked Kawhi Leonard what he thought of the franchise's rebound, and in response, he gave them resting bitch face. Quote, I don't think nobody is going to be popping champagne just because we're 42-40. And that is true. Because if there's any champagne around, rest assured the Thunder continue to pop those bottles after he forced the Clippers into overpaying for Paul George. Sucks, but you know I'm right. Talking a lot of basketball today. I don't want to throw a lot of random names out there about transfer portal targets for either USC or UCLA basketball. There are 361 Division I NCAA schools out there. 361. So you really want all those names out there? Really? All we can do right now is talk in generalities. We know the Bruins want to toughen up and improve the interior, and we also know they're going to need to replace scoring any way they can. But what I found curious yesterday is USC's demands are very specific, very pinpointed. Their front line is going to be fine. They have 3 front court players that were recruited that were all McDonald's All-Americans, not to mention a returning center. But where the Trojans really stunk last year, they were the worst team in the Big Ten in three-point shooting. They sank just 31.4%. That's where they need to go. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me about what you think the Lakers offseason or current situation is without Luka Dončić. And for that matter, who do you think should back up Matthew Stafford with the Rams? If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Keon Corte El Queso production. Take care.